But let's move it on, and this is probably why most people clicked on this video, and that is because I'm going to give you my top 5 reasons why Johnny Manziel will fail. And now, if you don't know who Johnny Manziel is, why did you click on the video? I'm just joking. I'm glad you did. But Johnny Manziel, just drafted, quarterback out of Texas A&M, won the Heisman as a freshman. He's had a pretty spectacular career. Just got selected 22nd by the Cleveland Browns. And let me just jump into it with reason number 1, Johnny Manziel will fail. Let's have a, do we have any like stamp sound effects, like a pound?
We
All right, maybe we should plan out the sound effects ahead of, okay, that'll work. Maybe I should plan out the sound effects ahead of time. But so
I mean, it's hard for me to deal with this when you told me nothing.
Yeah, I did tell him nothing. But so the first reason, and it's pretty obvious, and that's because he's going to Cleveland, and that's why he'll fail. I mean, that's, you really got to look at it. Cleveland, yeah, not the best record ever. Like, lifetime record is pretty horrible. I think they might have one championship, and that's even counting before the Super Bowl happened. So if that, yeah, actually, I think they won the championship in like 1949.
I remember years ago seeing an NFL Monopoly board, and the Cleveland Browns were actually the income tax. We're not the
The luxury tax.
Yeah, it's they didn't even get a property.
You don't even get a property. You're just, we're gonna relegate you to over there. They should have made, that's almost as bad as making them like the jail. Like, that would have been better if they made them jail. You need to go to jail, which means go to Cleveland and watch your career just peter out. Sorry. And now I've heard a lot of things like, oh, Cleveland's got a good defense, not good enough. But I'm sorry, I'm getting ahead of myself. Let's go to reason number 2 why he's going to fail. It's pretty much, how is he going to deal with the media? Now, in Texas A&M, he was the darling of that area. Everybody loved him. He was doing all types of stupid stuff, but they kind of let it go under the rug. Whenever he would leave the Texas A&M area, you'd hear about, oh, Johnny Manziel's partying too much. Oh, he left his training camp. Oh, he did that. He did this. And whenever he would be asked about it, he'd just be like, I'm a kid, I make mistakes, I do my thing. You know, I mean, which is all right, because he is a kid. He can make mistakes. He'll do his thing. But what's going to happen when you have 10 different people scrutinizing every little word you say right in your face with a bright light and a bright camera and a microphone, and you better be politically correct. If you're not politically correct, it's, oh, you're going to get killed by the national media, by the local media, everything. So the spotlight has just gotten a million times bigger for Johnny Manziel. And I'm wondering to see if the antics keep up, because if they do, it will, I mean, TMZ is going to start going after this guy, and you don't want TMZ to go after you. Ask Jay-Z. He doesn't like TMZ.
Yeah, and you can't really use that I'm just a kid excuse anymore. Now you're a professional, okay?
Yeah.
Look, you're out of college. You're in the real world. Deal with it. Like, you really shouldn't have been able to use that excuse while you're in college. I mean, you're old enough to vote. You should be responsible enough to deal with it.
I give him a pass while he's in college. Come on,
yeah, we can give him a little bit of a pass there, but definitely once you're a professional player, out of college and everything, yeah, that's not going to fly anymore. So,
But so we're going on to reason number 3 why Johnny Manziel will fail, and that is because he's not big enough. He's like 6 foot, 190 pounds, and at the style of play that this guy plays, he's more of a runner. He's trying to be more of an elusive back, and they just had their offensive line gutted. I believe they lost a tackle and a guard that were really, really big for them. So, I mean, this guy's going to have to scramble for his life. He's not quite that good at reading defenses, and he's not going to find the open receiver, not to mention his best receiver, probably the best receiver in the league last year, Josh Gordon, is going to be suspended for the whole next year. It's not going to help him. I mean, so he's going to be running for his life and take a bunch of hits. I mean, that's just as simple as that. If you look at RG3's rookie year, he was running for his life. He took a ton of hits. He got hurt. I mean, and he's, what, 40 pounds bigger? Yeah, he's about 6'3", 230 pounds. I mean, and he couldn't take that many hits. Think about what Manziel's going to do. He's just going to get steamrolled in the league. Not big enough. Sorry, Manziel. You just ain't big enough.
You're just a small man.
You are a small man. Even though if he came up to me, I'm 6'3", about 220 pounds, a little bit on the chubby side. But if he came up to me, he would still probably kick my butt. Yeah, I'm not trying to fight you, Johnny. You're big enough to beat me up, but not me and Brendan. Ha ha.
Ah, yeah. There's two of them.
And then If Chewbacca's behind, really in trouble if Chewbacca's behind me, because that's just not going to be good for you, Chewbacca.
Yeah, we'll just step aside. I mean, we know,
I'm like,
and we know how to get away from Chewbacca properly. We have some practice. You not so much.
There's a trick to it. You got to hum a certain song, and it kind of lulls them. Oh, I'm sorry. I won't let that one out. Sorry, Chewie. So let's move it on to reason. Yeah, he wasn't happy about that. He doesn't like when I let his secrets out of the bag. But let's move on to reason number 4. And this one is kind of my favorite reason why he's going to fail. And that's because if you look at the last 3 times that the Browns have drafted a quarterback in the first round, they've drafted each of these 2 quarterbacks with the same number 22 pick, and it was also the second pick in the first round for them. So back in, I believe it was 2007, they drafted quarterback Brady Quinn out of Notre Dame, who a lot of people thought had a lot of talent. He kind of fell down the draft, and they came in, they traded back in, and they swooped him up, and he was supposed to be the savior of Cleveland. Yeah, I think he lasted like a year and a half there, and then that was it. So that's not a good sign. Then the next time they picked a quarterback, they picked Brandon Weeden, actually last year or the year before, with the 22nd pick, and it was, again, their second pick in the first round, and Brandon Weeden has not done well at all. They put some guys, Brian Hoyer, if you remember him from last year, they made him the starter over Brandon Weeden, and he was an undrafted free agent, so that's an interesting one. Plus, Brandon Weeden was like 28 coming out of into the NFL, so it's like you're already past your prime years. Why would you draft that guy? Again, it's Cleveland. So now Johnny Manziel was picked with the 22nd pick again, and it was also the second pick in the first round that they had that year. So if you look at the trend, it's not looking good for you, Johnny. Sorry, buddy. Maybe if you were the 23rd pick, I might not have made this list. Or the 21st pick. Or hell, if you were the 27th pick, or just not picked in the first round, you might not have this list out here. But you were picked at the exact same position. Like, that is the Cleveland Browns' position of failure every time. So, good job. You got drafted in the position of failure. So that sucks for you.
Yeah, it's the Browns' curse. But wait, you said he was I thought you said he was a Heisman winner, wasn't he?
Yeah, when he was a freshman, he was a Heisman winner.
I'm surprised he wasn't picked up earlier. Yeah.
Well, no, I mean, again, college, there's a bigger disparity between athleticism of the elite players and the average players. In the NFL, that disparity is not there. Everybody is an elite player. So, in college, there's I believe about 116 teams in Division I football. There's only 32 teams in the NFL. And in Division I football, you can only play for 4 years. The NFL, you can play for 10, 15, 20. So, the pool gets so much smaller when you go from college to the NFL. You have to be just that much better than you were in the college ranks. So it's really, he's going to lose some of that speed. He's not going to lose the speed, but it's not going to look as fast against some of these other players. Like, you see linemen, Jadeveon Clowney runs faster than Johnny Manziel. I believe he ran a 4.3 and Johnny Manziel ran a 4.40 at the combine this year. So, when you're looking at 290-pound guys who run just as fast as you, you don't see that in college very often. So, yeah, that's another. That'll be reason 6. Because people are faster. But let's finish off the list with my reason number 5, and that is because he's going to Cleveland. Yeah, I know that was reason number 1, but it's also reason number 5. You have to bookend it in there. Because Cleveland, the last time they had a winning season, I believe, was about 2002, 2003. And, yeah, didn't work out for them. Yeah, that's it. You go to Cleveland, you lose. I think that's about the bookmark.
Yeah, you get that luxury tax.
Monopoly has it right. They didn't even give you a property. They're like, you're not really here. That's why they moved the team out of there in the mid-'90s, because they're like, who cares? And then they move over to Baltimore, and then they suddenly became a winning franchise, and then they put another franchise back in Cleveland.
That city's just cursed. I'm sorry, guys.
I'm trying to think of any championships that city has won. Cavaliers, the Cleveland Cavaliers, their basketball team, I don't remember them winning a championship. The Cleveland Indians, it's probably been at least 20 years since they've won a championship, if not longer than that, because I can't really remember one. So sorry, Cleveland.
The closest thing I remember for the Indians was a movie about the team where someone was trying to keep their record low because it was so bad anyway, just so they
Major League. Yeah, that was a good one. Yeah, yeah. So, yeah, because they wanted to sell the team and move them. So that's pretty much the story of Cleveland. Now they do have the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame in Cleveland. That's pretty cool.
Yeah,
That's
that's nice.
bonus points. But that doesn't explain why nobody wants to live there.
I mean, I'm sure someone wants to, like Drew Carey likes living there, I guess.
I guess he does sing that song that says Cleveland Rocks. So yeah. Maybe Manziel will come out in the games to Cleveland Rocks. But yeah, sorry Manziel, I just don't see a good future for you. But
Nope.